Hello everybody and welcome back to Coldover, where I realize we've been working on these intersections for a while now, and I don't want to spend too much longer on this episode. But I fired up the game this morning, and I'm looking at this with fresh eyes, and I'm thinking, if they're all going to be in one lane, what is the point of having this be highways? There isn't a lot of point, right? At the same time, I'm thinking, so I like the Star Trek logo. I'm not sure it actually helps. So what if we were to remove this area over here and do something that is rather similar in simplicity level to this, which is working surprisingly well with the lack of cross traffic here. Like, I thought that this would work less well than it is. And essentially what I'm saying is we take this highway and we bring this down to ground level, which is right there, and we do that here. And this simply connects in right here and terminates. Then the same thing up here, except we need it to be located there. That then connects in like that. Now, do we have this road connecting over through here? I don't know. Maybe. But what we then have, for sure, is this section of highway gone. This connects in like this. This connects in like this. And then we just have simple on-off ramps. And maybe this road does connect over. I don't know. This is a priority traffic route to be able to go from here to here. So I kind of feel like maybe not. So it would be kind of like this. And we could actually upgrade this to a 2-lane road. I think that's fine. So rather than using on-ramps, we would use a 2-lane road here. And we would simply connect it in like that. This would then be an off-ramp, like this. This would be an on-ramp over here. And then this would be an off-ramp right here. I want to avoid this cross-traffic. Okay, so we'll see how that ends up working. That is, for now, the final iteration, because we have quite a lot of commercial demand, and we need to develop a bit of a commercial region. So, to that end, this disaster response unit is probably going to have to be moved. I'm going to move it down over here for now. And we're going to develop this region over here. So we will bring this traffic down over this way, or rather this one-way section. And then we'll connect this in, and then using the curve tool, we'll kind of match this coastline a little bit, and connect it in something like that. There we go. And then we'll probably just extend these roads straight through here, although this is going to be in the way again. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be in the way. Maybe instead we just build the roads over here. Now, this is a potential issue. So actually, I think I want to go this way with the roads. I think I want to go vertical. So we'll do something kind of like that. That's not going to be able to connect in at all. Yeah, that's going to be slightly problematic. We'll take it to there for right now. And we'll just start extending these roads up this way. One over. There we go. And this will just be a little bit of a commercial region. And yeah, that'll work. And we could just leave that as a little bit of a gap. That would work. Okay, that's functional. So then the question is, do we leave this as vertical roads or do we change this to horizontal? Either way, we're going to have some issues. Maybe we just put in what would work. So essentially, actually, I need this to be over. What am I doing? There we go. So this would need to be more like here, and that would get taken up directly to there. That's kind of a dead end right now because of this waste transfer facility, which is currently not empty. So we're going to have to move this to get it to fit in over here. This waste processing complex, there is no moving that. It is never going to fit in this area. So we may just have to change some of this. However, I definitely want to make sure that we have water through this area. So we'll extend this heat pipe out over like this, and then connect one in just like that. That should do the trick. Technically, we're lacking a little bit of heating over here. Okay. So now this whole area, at least this area over here, is ready to be classified commercial. Fantastic. Okay. This is now emptied, so we can we can relocate this waste transfer facility, and I'm just going to place it right there. And then we'll connect that road in. Now, as far as this area goes, I kind of don't want to move a lot of these things. Like, this disaster response unit and this waste processing complex, they're going to be in the way. I mean, we could move this over here in theory, then have this be an area that is set aside for these larger structures, with the road coming up like this. Then the medical helicopter depot can be moved there. Now, we're probably not going to have an even spacing in our roadage here, but that might be okay. One over from here. Yeah, right there. Excellent. I believe one over, yep. So it'll be even up through here. The medical helicopter depots are going to have to all be relocated. And I want to relocate them all to be along this road, if we can fit them. Yes. Fantastic. So with that, that means that we can have a bit of an uneven road over there. Or we can just have a bit of a gap. We would gain exactly 1 square of space here. I'm not sure how worthwhile that is. So we'll leave that as is, and then this needs to stop emptying, and then we will zone all of this that we can over here commercial. Fantastic. Now I do see a power line in this vicinity that I believe is no longer necessary. So we will get rid of this power line. And this can now all be zoned... Well, this is currently zoned commercial. There we go. That can be zoned industrial. As can that. Excellent. A large section of this power line is no longer necessary as well. So we can take this out of here. And just leave it like that temporarily, although this whole section... This whole power line is completely unnecessary at this point. That is pretty great. So we can get rid of this whole power line, which means that we can rezone this whole area industrial. Excellent. And we weren't missing out on anything really up over here, I don't think. But that should be sufficient to get rid of this commercial demand. And that does mean that this region is almost completely developed, which is super nice. Yeah, there is a bit... I did notice a water issue over here. And... I was hoping that this wouldn't cause an issue. It would appear that it did. So we'll just do that. That'll solve the problem. Excellent. How are we doing on our heat capacity? We're doing fine. Our electric capacity, we're doing fine. Our water capacity and sewage capacity, we're doing fine. Excellent. Now let's check in on this scenario. Oof. Where are these guys trying to go? Why are they just sitting here? Like, this electric car, what is your route? Okay. You're just trying to go this way. Okay. I think we need to get rid of the cross traffic here. I'm just checking to see... Right. This would be a problem. So I'm going to fix this by removing, not that section, these sections of highway and this on-ramp. We will extend this section of highway back down to right here. Actually, a little bit further up, now that I think about it. We'll extend it down to right here. And then we'll put a turnaround there. And ramp there and there. Prevent cross traffic and prevent these trucks that are trying to get to the cargo train terminal from utilizing this system. That's the goal here. So let's see if that ends up working a little bit better. I'm not a huge fan of this cross traffic here. Ooh, that was quite a lightning flash. It looks like this is cleaning up. To some degree, anyway. We're definitely having trouble merging onto here, because there's a fair amount of traffic that wants to come this way now, which tells me that this highway is seeing a lot of traffic now. And indeed it is. For now, we're gonna try that. However, if we're going to do this, I want to make sure that there are off-ramps to get off before this bridge and to get on immediately after the bridge. Something like that. Just so that there's a turnaround without them having to go all the way over the bridge. Okay. Well, hopefully that will, yeah, this is actually cleaning up the traffic a little bit over here. We've still got an issue over here, naturally. This is not a huge surprise, but this is better. And then the traffic up here, okay, we're having merging going on up here, and nobody's utilizing these other lanes. Fair enough. Industrial waste in the soil? Good. That's what we're looking for.
Due to unusually short fingers, which are a characteristic of my family line, I was unable to play spots at the elite level I would have liked to. Instead, I invested my energy into
I suppose we could maybe put an off-ramp, like over here in a really awkward fashion, and then an on-ramp similarly over here in a really awkward fashion. I don't think that's really going to alleviate this issue.
Mentioned earlier in the advertisement. Just remember, when the game's on the line, who do you count on? Steel frame spots. That's who. Check out our ad in the Weekly Nickel.
Yeah,
Haven't you been
It's
hearing
this
more about
merging
disasters
that's the
lately?
issue.
I'm not sure if it's just me.
This
but
is
I feel like
currently...
mayors and sinkholes just didn't happen as much
What type
when
of
I was
road is
younger.
this? Just an on-ramp?
Maybe I just
We could
wasn't paying
maybe
attention.
change this to a
One time,
two-lane?
the street behind my house just disappeared. It was
I don't know
there
how
one
much
day,
help that would
and gone
actually
next.
be.
The weird thing was, nobody seemed to want to talk about it. Maybe it was too scary. Actually, if things can just disappear randomly, maybe I can disappear. That is scary. I need to play another song.
The Brontosaurus. For millennia,
Indeed.
these gentle and
This design doesn't appear to be
graceful
working
giants
too
roamed
well,
the earth,
but as I said, I
grazing
didn't want to
off the
focus
lush
too much on
vegetation of the
traffic
time.
this particular episode. I do want to get rid of some of these abandoned structures, though, and I think a lot of the reason this is happening is because we're having difficulties with imports. Now, one thing I do want to do is I do want to put some on-off ramps over here. I know I didn't previously on purpose, but I feel like it is necessary, and it's going to be a little bit awkward because of the shape of everything over here. I'm not super okay with that, but I guess an on-ramp there. We can put an off-ramp over here. Can't quite get an on-ramp over here, sadly. I mean, we could do that. It's very awkward. Then an off-ramp over here, in theory. And this would, of course, be an on-ramp. Oh, we can't upgrade that. So we can't flip it, so we'll have to just do it like
This is Cities
this.
Radio. Home
There
of
we go.
music.
Okay, hopefully that will lower the strain on this interchange a little bit. Now, I did want to bulldoze some of these abandoned structures, and the reason these are getting abandoned is because they're lacking in raw materials, and a lot of the reason that they're lacking in raw materials is because of these interchange issues. But hopefully some of this will smooth this out. This is still a giant mess. And it's the cross traffic that's causing it. No, I don't want to demolish that. If this cargo train terminal wasn't here and facing this road, that would make this a lot easier. Maybe what we should do is we should then downgrade these to one-ways, to one-way roads, and connect them in kind of flung out to the side, like this. Now, we're still going to have the cross traffic here. I'm not sure that actually changes anything at all, if I'm honest. Not 100% sure about that. Okay, so what else do we have going on up in the city? Up over this way, things seem to be going okay. This interchange here, I still think we get rid of the cross traffic, because this is a priority road. And in fact, maybe we should utilize that priority road tool. So if we go into the adjust roads here, and I don't want to be constructing while doing this. This highway should be considered a priority road. Okay. This highway should be considered a priority road. This highway should be considered a priority road. And this highway should be considered a priority road. Okay. We'll see how much that ends up changing things. I'm very not okay with this situation, but I'm going to leave it for now, and we will address that in a future episode, because I want to start thinking about where our next residential and commercial districts will be. Because in order to support Briarwood Park, as well as Victoria District over here, we're going to need some residential and commercial in these areas, probably. Similarly to how we have them over here. Now we do seem to have a sickness issue. How's our heal capacity doing? Our heal capacity is doing wonderfully, but our hospitals are still not issuing ambulances, and I have to assume... Well, this one is. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I have to assume that this is either a bug in the game or just a transit problem. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we could really, really use a clinic, perhaps up in this region over here, as well as probably one over here. There we go. So ambulances should start issuing out of this clinic in theory. They're not, which tells me that I think there have already been ambulances dispatched to all of these 6 citizens. That's a police car. Just sitting. Ah, they were waiting for that train. There's a lot of trains going through there. Are they ever going to get through? I feel like we may actually need to set up a traffic light here if we can. Oh. Okay. It's working now. Fantastic. And yeah, all of these abandoned structures in the Primrose District, they are all being abandoned because there's not enough raw materials being delivered to these industrial structures. And that is probably the reason why we are not seeing much industrial demand as well. So we'll continue to get rid of those for now, but this remains an issue. Definitely. Yep, so this is definitely something that we will need to address. This over here is working reasonably well. I feel like... is that stop signed? It's not. Or no, it is. Because I set these as priority routes, it automatically stop signed. Okay. I feel like this junction here should not be stop signed. Everything else being stop signed is relatively okay. But let's uncontrol this so that our traffic is flowing just a little bit faster. Similarly over here, I feel like it'll flow faster if we uncontrol this. No stop signs in this region. Stop signs on these merge-ins are okay, I think. So hopefully that'll clean this up a little bit. I'm also noticing that this is not fully upgraded to a two-way, which I find interesting. Or is it? No, it is. It just narrows. Okay. That's fine. It's, I believe, because we are... yeah, it's a bridge versus on the ground. So this situation definitely needs to be handled, and I'll figure out a way to do that in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.